Imagine a chess game where the board is the size of a continent, the pieces are entire nations, and the players have been arguing over the rules since the 1800s. Welcome to Central Asia, the world's most underrated geopolitical arena, and it's heating up again. Back in the 19th century, the British Empire and Tsarist Russia played what historians elegantly called the Great Game, a decades-long shadow war of espionage, diplomacy, and military maneuvering over control of Central Asia. Britain feared Russia would march through Afghanistan and threaten India, the crown jewel of its empire. Russia wanted warm water ports and southward expansion. Neither side fully won, but millions of people in the middle paid the price. That game never really ended. It just got a reboot, with better technology, more players, and resources that the 19th century couldn't have imagined. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Great Game 2.0. Let's talk geography, because Central Asia's importance isn't an accident of history. It is, quite literally, the geographical heart of the Eurasian landmass, and that makes it strategically priceless. We're talking about Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan, 5 nations that together cover an area larger than the entire European Union, yet are home to only about 75 million people. The British geographer Halford Mackinder called this broader region the Heartland in 1904, arguing that whoever controls the Heartland controls the world island, and whoever controls the world island controls the world. Bold claim, but not entirely wrong. Central Asia is landlocked, completely surrounded by other countries, with no direct access to any ocean. That sounds like a weakness, but it actually means every single major power must negotiate to reach it, or pass through it. Now, everyone knows Central Asia has massive oil and gas reserves. Kazakhstan alone sits on one of the largest oil fields on Earth. But here's where it gets genuinely exciting for the 21st century. Central Asia holds enormous reserves of lithium, uranium, rare earth minerals, and copper, the exact raw materials needed to build electric vehicles, solar panels, smartphones, and military technology. Whoever controls this controls the green energy future. Turkmenistan has the 4th largest natural gas reserves on the planet. Uzbekistan is rich in gold and uranium. Tajikistan holds some of the world's most significant untapped lithium deposits. This is not a poor neighborhood. It just hasn't sent out the invitations yet. And then there are the trade routes, specifically the Middle Corridor, a shipping and rail network cutting from China through Central Asia, across the Caspian Sea, through the Caucasus, and into Europe, deliberately bypassing both Russia and the Suez Canal. All right, let's meet our players. First up, China. And China is not playing around. Beijing's Belt and Road Initiative has invested tens of billions of dollars in Central Asian infrastructure since 2013, building railways, highways, pipelines, and fiber optic cables. China's strategic logic is crystal clear. Central Asia provides direct overland access to European markets, secures energy supplies for Chinese industry, and creates a buffer zone of economically dependent neighbors on its western frontier. China has also quietly become Central Asia's largest trading partner, displacing Russia in that role, which, as you can imagine, Russia finds about as comfortable as a wool sweater in July. Player 2. Russia. Moscow's relationship with Central Asia is ancient, complicated, and deeply paternalistic. These countries were Soviet republics until 1991, and Russia still considers them part of its essential sphere of influence. Russia maintains military bases in Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan, leads the Collective Security Treaty Organization, essentially Moscow's answer to NATO, and controls the main export pipelines for Kazakh and Turkmen oil and gas. Old habits die hard. But Russia's position has been significantly weakened since 2022. Economic sanctions, military distraction in Ukraine, and China's growing presence have combined to quietly erode Moscow's grip on a region it once considered its backyard. Player 3, and this one surprises most people. Turkey. President Erdogan has been aggressively pursuing what Ankara calls the Turkic world vision, based on the fact that most Central Asian nations speak Turkic languages closely related to Turkish. Turkey has launched the Organization of Turkic States, expanded Turkish Airlines routes across the region, built schools, funded mosques, and exported Turkish TV drama Step Down, which, honestly, might be the most effective soft power tool on this entire list. Player 4, the West, specifically the United States and the European Union, who spent most of the post-Cold War era ignoring Central Asia and are now deeply regretting that decision with considerable urgency. The US has been promoting the C5+1 diplomatic framework, connecting all 5 Central Asian states to Washington, and the EU has been pushing the Middle Corridor and its Global Gateway Investment Fund as alternatives to Chinese financing. Now here's the part that most Western analysis completely misses. The Central Asian nations themselves are not passive pieces on this chessboard. They are active, increasingly sophisticated players running a strategy called multi-vector foreign policy. Multi-vector simply means don't fully commit to any single superpower. Keep all options open, collect investment from China, security guarantees from Russia, trade deals from Turkey, and democratic credentials from the West simultaneously. Kazakhstan, the region's largest economy, has been a master of this balancing act, hosting Chinese infrastructure projects while maintaining CSTO security ties with Russia, deepening trade with Turkey, and negotiating energy deals with European companies. Uzbekistan, under President Mirziyoyev, has opened its economy dramatically since 2016, actively courting foreign investment from multiple directions, and positioning Tashkent as the region's new commercial hub, the Dubai of Central Asia, as some analysts call it. Even Turkmenistan, arguably the world's most isolated country outside of North Korea, has started diversifying its gas export routes, building pipelines toward China while carefully exploring options toward Europe and South Asia. Here's the profound geopolitical truth at the center of all this. Central Asia will not be won by any single superpower. It will be negotiated endlessly and cleverly by nations that have survived empires for centuries and have learned to outlast every patron that ever claimed to own them. The Great Game 2.0 is not just bigger than its 19th century predecessor. It is more complex, more connected, and more consequential than ever, because the resources at stake aren't just oil anymore. They are the literal building blocks of the future economy. So the next time you hear about a new railway in Kazakhstan, a Turkish cultural center in Bishkek, or a Chinese port deal in the Caspian, remember, you're not reading regional news. You're watching the opening moves of the century's defining power struggle, live.